Welcome to Jubilee Circle. We're so glad to have you here in the building. I can at least see half of your faces, and that's a lovely thing. It's good to have you with us live wherever you are sitting this morning, probably with no pants and coffee, but none of us are envious about that, right? Oh yeah, we're all envious about that. But thank you. Wherever you are, whether you're joining us virtually or here in person, we are so glad that you are here with us this morning. And this morning we are going to wrap up our Via Negativa theme of seeing in the dark. All this Via, we have been exploring how our willingness to see the world differently, to see the world through the eyes of the holy instead of our ego, can help bring our darkness to the light. Every year about this time, you see this common meme start to pop up on Facebook that reads, Black Friday, when people trample over others for cheap goods mere hours after being thankful for what they already have. That pretty much sums up the holiday season for we greedy, needy, yet somehow still thankful human beings. As the big Thanksgiving feast draws closer, we're told to count our blessings, to go online and post all the things we're grateful for, even before, we're really out of our turkey tryptophan-induced haze. And then we got to do battle with the other shoppers before all the good stuff gets gone. And with the supply chain this year, there's not a lot of good stuff to begin with, right? But this, that's it. So this is how the ego operates, though. It loves the spiritual stuff because it can use practices such as gratitude or buying gifts for others to make us either feel superior or inferior to others. Superior in believing that we're better or have better stuff than others, or inferior for not being better or having better or even more stuff than others. Gratitude, it seems, can be just as easily distorted by the ego than anything else in our lives. So this year, I invite you, try to look at gratitude a little bit differently. Instead of simply saying thank you when the good times roll around, how many times have we said thank you when we're smack in the middle of being blown off our emotional or spiritual moorings by life? I mean, what if saying thank you is the key to finding the calm center in any storm of life? What if saying thank you, as Meister Eckhart says, is the only prayer you ever need to say to enjoy all of your life, whether the storm is raging around you or you're enjoying the abundant sunshine of blessings? When thank you is the first thought that comes to your mind and out of your mouth, no matter what is going on outside of yourself in the world, then surely the next thing you will utter after that is, oh yeah. Please rise as you're able. And as we do at every celebration, we step over the dog as we approach the table. This is Cece. She is our Jubilee mascot. And she does not care. She's just going to be right there, and I will step around. So we begin, as we do every celebration, by remembering the four elements, the air and the water and the earth and the fire. And we burn black sage as a reminder to set our intentions for our personal lives, to set our intentions for the world, to set our spiritual intentions, whatever they may be this morning. So I invite you, set your intention for the world, set your intention for yourself, and let us center ourselves in this sacred space and time by calling the four directions. I invite you to turn and face the east. We give thanks this morning, Holy One, for the loving light of the sun. It spreads its rays without thinking about whether we're worthy enough to receive that life-giving warmth. So we give thanks for that fiery planet and its warm love. May we learn how to shine our own light into the world without conditions and only in love. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the south. We give thanks this morning, Holy One, for the passion of the fire of the south. Remind us to live passionately in this world, to let our love burn hot like the winds of the south, regardless of who is before us or what situation confronts us. Consume us, Holy One, with your passionate love, so that we may blow that love through the world around us. Quarter turn to the right, we face the west. We give thanks, Holy One, for the wisdom of the West. This is the wisdom that invites us to put aside past slights or frustrations or grievances, any cause for anger or hatred. We give thanks for the wisdom that invites us to new beginnings, to a fresh start, a heart light from leaving behind the past that holds us down. Free us, Holy One, through the wise love of the West. Quarter turn to the right, we face the north. We give thanks, Holy One, for the infinite possibilities of the north. Teach us how to put aside limiting beliefs about love so that we can be free to explore the many infinite possibilities of holy and eternal love. Open our hearts and minds to new ways to see and love ourselves and each other. Reveal to us the holy in each moment so we can fall in love all over again with you and ourselves and all of this amazing creation. And as we turn back toward the center, you'll find some folks in here who are quite thankful this morning, some who are struggling to be thankful, and some of you who are just full of it. But no matter which one you are this morning, be assured this is a safe and a sacred place. So I invite you to stand firm in the spot where you are, ground yourself to this beautiful, beautiful, loving earth and creation, and experience the gratitude of simply being right here, right now, because it is the gratefulness for that present moment that makes us all say, oh yeah. All right, let's spread a little sage around. And if you'll remain standing, we got some music this morning to help you say thank you, hey baby. I gotta greet all the puppy dogs. Cece, she's still in her spot, so. All right, everybody. Got a little Natalie Merchant to get us started, to remind us how to say thank you over and over again. That's what this song is all about. All right. Okay, I've got a strap issue. Hang on. Oh, well. It's on. That's the point. Okay. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. best. Woo! All right. You may be seated. Thank you, everybody. Seems to be the theme today. Thank you. Just a little bit about us. Welcome to our visitors. We've got a couple of visitors who sort of are in a hostage situation, I think. Blink twice if you need help. I understand their car exploded on them, and so they're stranded. And so we're sorry about that. We'll see if we can get you all some help as we go forward. Todd, did you want to just say something about their situation? So maybe. Right. Gotcha, yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. If anybody, they need a ride to Charlotte, for anybody out there who's looking, and if tomorrow they need a ride to Charlotte to get a rental car so they can get back on their way. But that Subaru, was that $200,000? I mean, 200,000 miles on that Subaru? That's not bad, man. Well, it's great until it's not, right?
Don't tell me it was the timing belt.
Oh, Lord. All right, they may be getting a ride. Something arranged over here. Good. All right. Good. I think we may have a solution. Lovely. All right. So welcome to you can't hide in Jubilee. So we're glad that you're here, even though your situation is not the best. But we're glad you're here. A little bit about us. We are an inclusive, progressive, interfaith community right here in South Carolina, broadcasting around the world, thanks to the lovely Jim Mounts, who has already pulled out all of his hair, apparently, to get us to get us online. We love you, Jim. We teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that is found in all mainstream religions, within all metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, and inspired secular and religious writers who have broadcast their wisdom throughout the ages for us. And we use popular music and teaching and weekly celebrations, educational, artistic events, and other community-building activities as we try to seek to create a space for everyone to experience transformation within, so then they can go out and transform the world. And we believe that we are here to expand our souls, to find deeper meaning in life, to renew our commitment to love and peace and justice, learn how to love wastefully, and undergo a transformation from the inside out to discover how we can live into that higher divine self on a more regular basis. We also recognize we're part of God's good creation. We are formed not just out of stardust, but love and joy. But we humans, we forget this. We look out in the world and we see separation. We see people over there as separate from us, and then we judge them as either beautiful or ugly or good or bad or generous or stingy or loving and recalcitrant. But let us remember our true function, jubilance. It is to awaken. It is to remember who we are. As the course says, it's to accept the atonement for ourselves, which basically just means to remember that we have never lost that unity with God. We've never lost that unity with one another, and that we are all one. And that ought to make you say, oh, yeah. All right, next Sunday, we're going to begin our holiday Via. I'm having a stroke, people. Hang on. Mini Via, that's it. We call it Oxney. Oxney, you can say it however you like. So we celebrate Advent, Hanukkah, Solstice, Christmas, New Year's, and Epiphany. And our theme for this Via will be ordinary miracles. We're going to celebrate ways we encounter miracles in all the mundane and ordinary times of life. And next week, we're going to use a song from Mumford & Sons to celebrate the miracle of waiting as we begin the Advent season, because Advent is all about waiting. So as that great theologian Tom Petty says, the waiting is the hardest part. So we'll do a little bit of that. Some exciting news, I think. I'm very excited by this. Lee Mcearn is going to start leading a Course in Miracles discussion group. We're going to meet here Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesdays every week. So come and join us, whether you've been studying A Course in Miracles for years, whether you're just new to it or curious about it. This is an all levels discussion group. So come and just get a lot out of sitting around and talking about the course with others and doing some study together. So I'm excited about that. Starting Wednesday, December 1st. So not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. So, yeah. So then Friday, December 3rd, our Jubilee Circle Coffee House and open mic. The feature act starts at 7. Open mic starts at 8. So if you want to bring songs, stories, poetry, spoken word, we had a lady do hula hoops once. It was fabulous. So whatever your talent or skill is within the limits of the law, please come and join us. Dinner and drinks are served, and we hope you put $10 in the kitty to help us cover all that cost. We also are having some yoga during the weeknights. Malika Daniels is leading that. She has told me that she works at her other job is kind of keeping her busy. So I'm not sure if she's doing them every time. So if you want to join her for yoga, I encourage you to email her at healthfulhealers@gmail.com and just see what her current schedule is. All right, did I miss anything? I think I got everything. All right. Hear these wise and holy words. Order up. That's what that sounded like. All right, here we go. From the Hebrew Scriptures, Jeremiah 29, verse 1 and verses 4 through 7. These are the words of the letter that the prophet Jeremiah sent from Jerusalem to the remaining elders among the exiles, and to the priests, the prophets, and all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had taken into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, to all the exiles whom I have sent into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon, build houses and live in them, plant gardens and eat what they produce. Take wives and have sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there and do not decrease. But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you to live into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare. From the Jesus story, Luke 17, 11 through 19. On the way to Jerusalem, Jesus was going through the region between Samaria and Galilee. As he entered a village, 10 lepers approached him. Keeping their distance, they called out, saying, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. And when he saw them, he said to them, Go and show yourselves to the priests. And as they went, they were made clean. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice. He prostrated himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. Then Jesus asked, Were not 10 made clean? But the other 9, where are they? Was none of them found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner? Then he said to him, Get up and go on your way. Your faith has made you well. And from A Course in Miracles, lesson 195. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Give thanks, but in sincerity. And let your gratitude make room for all who escape with you, the sick, the weak, the needy and afraid, and those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. All these go with you. Let us not compare ourselves with them, for thus we split off from them from our awareness of the unity we share with them, and they must share with us. We thank the Holy One for the one thing. We thank the Holy One for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with God. Walk then in gratitude the way of love, for hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. What more remains as an obstacle to peace? These are wise and holy words. Thanks be to the holy. All creation is holy word. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. Let's stand and sing, and as we sing, I invite you to greet one another however you see fit. Bump elbows, wave, hug, wherever you go up there. Darkness, darkness, be my pillow. Take my hand and let me sleep in the coolness of your shadows, in the silence brings me here. I have felt the edge of silence. I have known the depths of fear. Darkness, darkness, be my blanket. Cover me with the endless night. Take away the pain of knowing. Fill the emptiness of right now. Darkness, darkness, be my pillow. Take my hand and let me sleep. Oh yeah. Y'all may be seated. Right. That's the last week we're doing it anyway. I hope y'all enjoyed that one. We got a new song, and Oxney starts next week. So we're gonna be doing some Peter Mayer. He's got a song called "Ordinary Day" that's really good. So, and it's a little bit more upbeat. No, Jim's happy. Jim's like, I'll rearrange the cameras during your dirge. All right.
It's so cool. It's methodical.
It's a nice song. Anyway, it's not for everybody. It's not for Jim. All right. So this is our song this morning comes from singer and songwriter Jimmy Buffett. He's famous for songs like Cheeseburger in Paradise and Margaritaville, which we're not doing. This song made its appearance on a 2004 children's album called Thanks and Giving All Year Long that was hosted by Marlo Thomas and also features songs from Sheryl Crow and Kermit the Frog, to name just a couple. This song is called It's Not Easy Being Thankful.
It's not easy being me.
So this song is called Attitude of Gratitude. Goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Early in the playground, where am I gonna play? Found a better playground half a block away. Made a little song up, called a little rhyme. An attitude of gratitude will do it every time. An attitude of gratitude when stuff has got you down can get you satisfaction and turn your world around. An attitude of gratitude, hooray for what's okay. Say thank you with emphaticitude, and it's a brand new day. We've been playing with that song. Anyway, how many of us this morning can say we're truly happy? Life's good, nothing to complain about, nothing we'd like to change. Okay, there's one. Okay, nothing. Okay, we got nothing to complain about, but are you grateful? Say what? Oh, the Gamecocks are bowl eligible.
Yay.
We all have our gratitude markers, right? So you've given thanks this morning because life is so good, right? Life is good. You got coffee. What else do you need? See? And even the cup says life is good. You know, it's easy. It's so easy to be grateful and to give thanks when things are going our way out here in the world. It feels good to say thank you for the things that make you feel good. But how many of us give thanks when things go south? How many of us express gratitude when life takes that downward turn? Not many of us, I would say, me included. I'm not a big fan of saying thank you when I'm not feeling good about what's going on in my life or what's going on in the world. Back when I was a little kid, my mom would say this one phrase to me in an effort to instill some sort of manners in an otherwise stubborn and unruly child. I am, of course, still a stubborn and unruly adult, but this one phrase that my mom used and pounded into my head gave me some sort of modicum of manners. So whenever there was a situation where I was receiving something, whether it was something I really wanted or not, Mom would always ask me, "What do you say?" I can tell you from harsh experience that the correct answer is not, "It's about time, what took you so long?" That is not the right answer. Instead, the correct answer was, "Thank you." Whenever Mom would say, "What do you say?" Thank you. That was the right answer, even if you didn't want to say it, even if there was not a thankful bone in your body, even if you said it through gritted teeth, you had to say thank you, even if you were receiving beats or a new dress or anything else less than what you actually wanted. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself. Anyway. Oh. Keith loves beats. Do you love dresses? Oh, I'll get you a dress, all right. I'll get him a kilt. That's right. I bet you're right. We'll get you a kilt, but you have to wear underwear. Right. In our Jesus story today, apparently, only one of the 10 lepers that Jesus healed must have had a mother like mine who repeatedly asked, "What do you say?" Because he's the only one who turned around and came back and thanked Jesus. He's the only one my mama would have been proud of. There's something important about this leper, or now ex-leper, that we have to remember, though. He was a Samaritan, and the scripture is it just gives you a little sentence. And he was a Samaritan, like it seems like it comes out of nowhere. But he was a Samaritan, which means that even before he had leprosy, he was an outcast. In John 4:9, we learn that Jews had no dealings at all with Samaritans. You'll remember, it was a Samaritan woman that Jesus is speaking to in this passage, which is him at the well. It was scandalous for a Jew to speak to a Samaritan, even more scandalous than a man to speak to a woman. So at that woman at the well, Jesus is like doubly forbidden from doing anything that he's doing. His culture is like, oh my God. So just put yourself in this ex-leper's shoes for a minute. Before he got sick, he was already hated. And then these spots start to appear on his skin, and oh, he knows what he's done. He's done for now. Life is over. Life is no longer good. Imagine how depressed he must have been. There's no ancient Prozac to help the poor Samaritan leper feel good about the crappy hand that life has dealt him. He's got to deal with this just the best way he can. He goes begging for a living, bands together with other outcasts to eke out whatever kind of life they can. And like this leper, most likely, and probably many of you, I have in my lifetime dealt with crushing depression. I mean, there was a time when I hit bottom emotionally. I told my therapist I was in the middle of a don't give a crap part of my life. Well, I use stronger language, but we're trying to not use the stronger language, but life had become so crappy. It didn't matter what happened. I truly didn't care. The house explodes, I don't care. The car dies, I don't care. Lost my job, I don't care. I win the lottery, I don't care. Whatever happens. Nothing could lift me out of the depths of my depression, and friends tried to help, and they worked to lift my spirits, get me out of the doldrums, but nothing worked. In fact, if I heard one more cheery person tell me to count my blessings, they were going to be counting something else. Stars, teeth, I don't know. It would have tested my commitment to nonviolence. When life sucks that badly, the last thing on your mind is developing an attitude of gratitude. Shut up. I imagine that's what these lepers are going through. In their own deep depression, they're sick. They're outcast. They're reduced to begging to simply survive. I mean, it's depressing just to describe it. But only one of them, the one who had been so doubly excluded with the most to be depressed about, still had the ability to feel a sense of gratitude and an urgent need to go back to Jesus and express it. We got a lot to learn from this ex-leper. How often do we say thank you? Not just when life is crappy, but when the crappiness lifts and life gets better. How often are we like the other 9 lepers who just disappear off into the crowd without even so much as a thanks when the storm finally ends and the sunshine breaks through? If God prompted us, like my mom, and asked, "What do you say?" how many of us would say, "It's about time. What took you so long?" instead of a simple thank you? Breathe deeply. 2, 3, 4. Try again. 2, 3, 4. I got lost there. Now Daddy's in the doghouse, Mama's up a tree, but I've got Abuelita looking after me. Made myself a sandwich, a little P&J. An attitude of gratitude can chase the clouds away. An attitude of gratitude, that's what it's all about. That no hope to be attitude is sure to wear you out. An attitude of gratitude, hooray for what's okay. Say thank you with empatitude, and it's a brand new day. All right. The Apostle Paul tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5:18 to give thanks in all circumstances. And if you're looking for a loophole, give it up. When Paul says all circumstances, that's what he means. Even if this life is crappy, the Holy expects you to say, thank you. As happy slappy as it sounds, counting your blessings is actually a holy exercise. It's a way to bring the awe and wonder back into the center of our lives. Paul knew the power of saying thanks in all circumstances because he knew, and deep down we know it too, that if we don't make it a habit to give thanks, even in the darkest, craptastic times of our lives, it's guaranteed that we're going to be like those 9 lepers and neglect to give thanks during the good times. Paul's advice to the Thessalonians echoes the prophet Jeremiah's advice to the Jewish exiles in Babylon. He tells them to settle in. That's what Jeremiah says. You're not going home anytime soon, so be where you are. Be in the now. Make the best of it. Build houses. Get married. Have kids. This is your life right now. Stop complaining, wishing you were somewhere else. Get to growing where you're planted. Be grateful that you're there. When our lives get crappy, it's like being in exile. We're far away from the homey feelings that make us feel happy. We are way outside of our comfort zone. We're like a stranger in a foreign land, held captive by emotions that are not letting us go. Is that the kind of exile you've ever experienced? Are you living in exile in any part of your life right now? If so, take Jeremiah's advice. Settle in. Because the only moment you have is the one right now. No matter how miserable or wonderful that moment might feel to you. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow isn't here yet, and when it gets here, it'll be the present moment anyway. So you might get used to living here. Settle in. Make yourself comfortable despite your troubles and doubts, despite any sadness or misery. Get comfortable. Set up housekeeping. Make this moment your home because you will never see your way out of discomfort until you can be present in it right now. In her book, Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar, Cheryl Strayed writes, the useless days will add up to something. The crappy waitressing jobs, the hours writing in your journal, the long meandering walks, the hours reading poetry and story collections and novels and dead people's diaries and wondering about sex and God and whether you should shave under your arms or not. These things are your becoming. One Christmas at the very end of your 20s when your mother gives you a warm coat that she saved for months to buy, don't look at her skeptically after she tells you that she thought the coat would be perfect for you. Don't hold it up and say that it's longer than you like your coats to be, or too puffy and possibly even too warm. Your mother will be dead by spring. That coat will be the last gift she gave you. You will regret the small thing you didn't say for the rest of your life. Say thank you. Jubilants, give thanks right now. Despite any feelings of misery or despair or hopelessness you might have in the moment, settle in. Enjoy even the smallest things. Breathe deeply. Enjoy that breath. Enjoy your beating heart. Enjoy the blood flowing through your veins. Enjoy this moment. And then the next. And then the next. Our gratitude, though, Jubilance, it's not just for us. It must be as wide and deep to include a willingness to be thankful not just for the things in our lives, whether we see them as good or bad. We also have to be thankful for everyone we encounter, whether we perceive them to be good or bad. Give thanks, a course advises, but in sincerity. And let your gratitude make room for all who will escape with you, the sick, the weak, the needy and afraid, and those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. All these go with you. Let us not compare ourselves with them, for thus we split off from our awareness of the unity we share with them, and they must share with us. Jubilance, we can't compare ourselves to anyone. We are all one. We all have been in turn, both those who do evil and both those who do good, either by commission, omission, or permission. Not one of us is truly enlightened, even though many of us may be striving for that goal. We all fail along the way. To condemn others for their failings is to try to make ourselves spiritually superior. And when we do that, we just fall into the ego's trap, and we're right back into thinking we're all separate. And that's the lie. The lie of separation is what prevents us from being truly grateful. A Course in Miracles says, we thank the Holy One for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with God. Walk then in gratitude the way of love, for hatred is forgotten, and we lay comparisons aside. What more remains as an obstacle to peace? What more remains as an obstacle to peace? I'll tell you what, your ego. Our own stubbornness. Our penchant for comparing both our perceived blessings and curses to those around us. And how do we stop doing that? Well, that ancient Muslim mystic poet Rumi has an answer. When your ego gets in the way, he says, dance. Dance when you're broken open. Dance if you've torn the bandage off. Dance in the middle of the fighting. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. No matter what our lot in life is, no matter if our circumstances, we judge them as good or bad, we are perfectly free to give thanks and to dance. Those words, thank you, they need to be our first thought. The first word on our lips every morning, the last when we go to bed. We must always be present when the circumstances are either good or bad. So I'm going to channel my mom right now. It's going to be scary. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Jubilance, what do you say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Settle in, Jubilance. Make yourself at home. Because this is the present moment. And it's all you have. And whatever it brings you should bring gratitude. So let's practice. You guys know your part, okay? Let's hear it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you find a new job. What do you say?
Thank you.
You lose that new job. What do you say?
Thank you.
You find the perfect mate. What do you say?
Thank you.
That perfect mate breaks up with you. What do you say?
Thank you.
If someone does something you love and you think that's beautiful, what do you say?
Thank you.
If someone does something you hate and you think is ugly or awful or evil, what do you say?
Thank you.
If you're happy today, what do you say?
Thank you.
If you're sad tomorrow, what do you say?
Thank you.
If you're in perfect health today, what do you say?
Thank you.
You're sick as a dog tomorrow, what do you say?
Thank you.
You're rich today, what do you say?
Thank you.
You're poor tomorrow, what do you say?
Thank you.
What do you say?
Thank you.
What do you say louder?
Thank you.
Jubilance. Give thanks in all circumstances, whether it is fantastic or craptastic out there in your life. What do you say?
Thank you.
That's it. 2, 3. An attitude of gratitude, that's what it's all about. That no hope to be had attitude is sure to wear you out. An attitude of gratitude, hooray for what's okay. Say thank you with empatitude, and it's it's a brand new day. Everything's $1.25. I haven't got $1, but I'm glad to be alive. I stole a look at Jane, and she stole a look at me. An attitude of gratitude is absolutely free. They say this is the showdown, they say it's us or them. They just can't see that us and them are relatives and friends. I made a little song up, put it on the charts. Says, come on people, everybody, open up your hearts. An attitude of gratitude when pushes come to shove eliminates compatitude and changes fear to love. An attitude of gratitude, hooray for what's okay. Say thank you with ingratitude, and it's a brand new day. Oh yeah. All right. So I invite you during this prayer time. It's a time to cultivate that attitude of gratitude. You can't be thankful and hold a grievance at the same time. It's just impossible. Unless you're following the ego's cynicism and you're employing the hi baby. You're employing something called Schadenfreude. People know about that, right? So Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. I am not German. But that is taking pleasure in the misfortunes of those that you do not like. That is not gratitude. That's just mean. That's just mean. That's just a lack of empathy right there, not just sympathy. And so, what we are practicing this morning is true gratitude. And we often think about gratitude out here. We're like all of these things outside of ourselves, and we're glad that this is working out and that is going well and things are looking up, or things are getting, we think about being happy about what's going on out here. But when's the last time you were just happy about what's going on in here? When's the last time you were grateful for yourself? When's the last time you were grateful that you loved yourself so much that you were taking care of yourself, body, mind, spirit? It's easy to be grateful for the stuff out here, but it's hard sometimes to be grateful for ourselves, to be grateful for our spiritual growth, to be grateful even in those places where we're still struggling. It's easy to be grateful for our progress, but what about being grateful for our weaknesses as well? Because those are what invite us to become more and more, to transform, to remember who we are, to remember that that light of the world shines within us and through us. When's the last time you were grateful that you were the light of the world? That your inner essence is the same as God's, the same as the universe, the same as that life force that surrounds us. When have you just been grateful to be who you are? That's a tough one sometimes. But I invite you in this time, be grateful for who you are as a person, as a human being, but who you are as a spirit, who you are as a divine being. Be grateful for all of that. 3, 4. Ashe, Ashe, my life is a good life. Ashe, Ashe, my life is good. Ashe, Ashe, my life is a good life. Ashe, Ashe, my life is good. Amen, amen, my heart is a good heart. Amen, amen, my heart is good. Amen, amen, my heart is a good heart. Amen, amen, my heart is good. Hallelujah, my thought is a pure thought. Hallelujah, my thought is pure. Hallelujah, my thought is a pure thought. Hallelujah, my thought is pure. Selah, Selah, my way is a peaceful way. Selah, Selah, my way is peace. Selah, Selah, my way is a peaceful way. Selah, Selah, my way is peace. Ashe, Ashe, my life is a good life. Ashe, Ashe, my life is good. Ashe, Ashe, my life is a good life. Ashe, Ashe, my life is good. Ashe, Ashe, my life is a good life. Ashe, Ashe, my life is good. Oh yeah. Life is good when you get to play up here in this band with so many wonderful and patient musicians. We have Trisha Fopp here on the 12-string and vocals, Bruce Clark on the lead guitar over here, Michael Sprinkles Reisman with everything else on piano and violin and organ and just anything we throw at him. He just figures out how to play it. Larry Farina back here on the drums. Says Larry Dust. Spreading the Larry love. And Keith Edwards, Senior, back here on the bass. We are so glad to have everybody here with us today. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to the band. Thank you to Jim, who keeps us going over there. And I want to thank everyone who puts money in here. Thank you. And also those who contribute to us electronically by going to jubileecircle.com, and you can give online. You can give through Venmo. You can give through PayPal. Thank you, Jess. We appreciate that. So thanks to everyone who has given in the past. Thanks to everyone who is giving in the future and giving in the present, because be here right now. And this is a generous moment and a time for you to show your generosity, and we show our gratitude. And all of that goes round and round. Giving is receiving. Giving is receiving. And we remember, I always forget to say this affirmation, but this is our giving affirmation that is in your bulletins. And it says, I walk in my integrity, grounded in my divinity, supported by my loving community, knowing that all my needs are met. All my needs and more are always being met. So that is an affirmation that you can use in this time of gratitude. We are walking in our integrity. We are walking in the truth of who we are, grounded in that divinity, that life-giving force, supported by this loving community, knowing that all of our needs and more are always being met. That is the heart of giving. That is the heart of receiving and the heart of living a generous life. And it will make you say, oh yeah. All right, so we will have a Zoom get-together. You can go to jubileecircle.com and you will find a link for a Zoom talkback, and we will do that here in the room as well as on the Zoom. So you're welcome to stick around for that. And we hope that you will join us again next week. And if you are not joining us for the Zoom, have a lovely week. And remember, Meister Eckhart, that 14th century, I think, mystic, once said, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it will be enough. And that is absolutely true, especially as we enter this season where we really think about gratitude. Because that moment that you're saying thank you, you're not thinking about grievance, you're not thinking about separation, you're thinking about what puts us all together as humanity, what puts us all together as divinity. And that is saying thank you. Oh yeah. We all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. We all walk together, arms and arms open wide. Make our way by walking in love when we abide. The path is always open, no traveler is denied. So open up your heart, get those tears you cried, because we all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. We all walk together, hand in
And side by
Oh, yeah. All right. If you're not joining us for the Zoom, have a great week. We love you. Huh? I love those big endings.